Oh my god. Hey YouTube. Scared me there. Welcome back to the YouTube journey. Today, I'm going to do a little something special for you guys. But, wait a second. What day is it? Oh my god. Guys, I haven't posted a video in a whole day. All joking aside, I wanted to do a video today about another console. I did one about the PS3 and a lot of games that are great on it that maybe you don't know about and I think that you should try. But today we're actually going to be talking about something else. We're going to be talking about the 3DS and its library of games that you should try. Now the 3DS is super cheap right now. You can get the new 2DS XL and that's I think $150. I think. Might be less at this point. But there is a huge library of games, and a lot of them have been marked down to $20 retail. So it's like the best possible time for you to jump on the train and play the 3DS. So today I'm going to talk about some of the great and just mind-blowingly amazing games that you can play on this tiny little console. First one I want to talk about is Animal Crossing New Leaf. This game is amazing. I use I've used a good portion of the soundtrack in my videos already. I love the music from this game. If you've never played an Animal Crossing game, I'm going to kind of explain what it is to you, and it's going to be like, well, why do people play that? But I'll do my best. So, in Animal Crossing, you have a town that you live in, and you grow plants in the town, and you decorate your house, and you do a lot of things that seem mundane, but are really fun, and this game can eat up hours of your life. This game came out, I think in May, right pretty much when school ended, and this entire game ate up my entire summer when it came out. I played this game every day for a full year, and then after a little bit after that I kind of dragged off. But every once in a while I hop back in, and I play this game in spurts of a few weeks at a time because it's just too good. And there's just something about it that always brings me back to my town. If you guys would maybe like to see some more from this maybe, I would totally like to jump back in and play it some more. I don't know how I'd record. Maybe I'd just record my screen. That sounds like a really bad thing. Like it's gonna look terrible. It probably will, but I'll see what I can do. Here's another great game that you might want to play. It's called Fantasy Life. Fantasy Life, say you take like Animal Crossing and World of Warcraft almost, or most RPGs, and you kind of put them together. And this game is adorable and cute, and it's really fun and addictive. Me and Steven wasted weeks playing online together on this game. He would come into my town and help me level up. I would go into his and help him level up. He played this game like non-stop when he bought it, and like somehow reached max level and surpassed me in every way, and like mastered every single job class. He like really showed me up, and then I ended up buying him the DLC and myself the DLC, which I think was like $9, and it expands the game like times 4. It's crazy. This is such a great purchase. It's made by Level 5. They've worked on the Professor Layton games, I think, and some other stuff on the PS3 even. They're a great company. They really put a lot of love into all their games, and they've been working with Nintendo for a long time, and it was just really great to see them make something so different, I guess. Different than they usually make, and they did such a good job with it. I totally suggest this game. It might be a little bit pricier than a lot of the other games I'm going to talk about. You could get Animal Crossing, which I just talked about, for $20. This might cost you the full $40, but it's 100% worth it. Even with the $9 extra to get the DLC, to get everything, I would totally recommend it. And there isn't really a reason I couldn't think of playing this game. It's so fun. I got my cousin to buy it and bought him the DLC and everything. It's a great time. I cannot recommend it enough. There are a lot of Fire Emblem games on the 3DS. 3 to be exact. Technically 4 if you want to say that, but just whatever. But I have the other 2 downloaded. This is the only one that I have physical on me. Steven's actually borrowing my copy of Awakening. There is Fire Emblem Awakening, which is the first one that came out on the 3DS. Then there's Fire Emblem Fates, which is broke up into 2 games. It's broken up into Fire Emblem Fates Birthright and Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. And then, of course, we have Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. Out of those 3, I would 100% without a doubt, say Awakening is my favorite. I have to say that. Awakening's amazing. The characters, everything about it, amazing. Fates, I love even more. The Japanese style that's very different than usually Fire Emblem games are very, I guess they're much like a medieval type setting, but Fates is actually more of like a feudal Japan type of setting, which is very different and cool, and I like it a lot. But if I had to say anything about it, it would be that you'd enjoy it a lot. Awakening's great, story's great. It's just an all-around fun game. It's a strategic game. You play on a map and you have little characters and you move them around, and it's very strategic, and it's hard. I will definitely say it's hard. If your character dies, they're gone for good. They're removed from the story completely unless you turn that mode off. It's suggested that you don't, because that's the true way to play Fire Emblem games, is to not turn that off. But some people don't turn it off. I don't know. And then there's this one. This one is great too. This is actually a remake of the old NES Fire Emblem. Not the original first one, but one of the early ones. I think it's the second or third one this is a remake of. And it's great. It's such a good one. It's very different. They have a lot of old features that they really didn't put in the current ones that they put in this one, and it's really awesome to see. And the characters are great in this one. The characters are just great in Fire Emblem. They write them really well, and they're fun and lovable, and it's just a great time. And I would suggest it to pretty much anybody who is in the mood for something a little different, and very, very strategic and hard, I have to say. What can I say about this besides this is Smash Brothers? Everyone likes Smash Bros. Play it. What else can I say? It's Smash Bros. If you don't know what Smash Bros is, it's a fighting game with all the Nintendo characters. It's amazing. It's like the funnest thing in the world. What else can I say? Like, if you haven't played it, get on it. I was trying to pick which Pokemon game for the 3DS that I was going to show off. I decided on Y. Pokemon Y, that is. That was a bad joke. Okay, so this game is really fun. Every Pokemon game is similar but different. I didn't really enjoy Sun and Moon that much, so I didn't pick them. And X and Y were just a really great time, and I sunk well over 300 hours into this game. It was such a good time, so different, but also so the same. And I think that's what's really magical about Pokemon, is they seem to change things, but it always kind of stays similar and nostalgic in a way. And I think maybe Sun and Moon for me lost that feeling, and I think that's why I didn't enjoy it as much, as I think they did a lot of things to change, which some people appreciated, and I did in a way, but I look for a sense of nostalgia from Pokemon games, and I just wasn't feeling it with Sun and Moon as much as I did with Pokemon Y, or even with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which are up there too. They're great, but just not as good of a feeling as this. Could just be the headspace I was in when I was playing them. Wasn't a happy person. Didn't even finish Sun and Moon because I just couldn't do it. But man, I could go back and play this anytime, any day, and I love it just as much as I did the first time. And I think that's really important for a lot of games. Another game I think is just, I mean, it goes without saying. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. It's Ocarina of Time, but remastered basically. The controls for shooting and everything are better. This game is just a classic overall. There's no reason to not play this game. I mean, what else can I say about Ocarina of Time that hasn't already been said? It's like a legend among games. It's considered by some people to be the greatest game of all time. Not my opinion, but it is amazing. And I think most people would disagree with this not being my favorite Zelda game, but my goodness, it's such a good one. I mean, who doesn't like this game? I'll wait for somebody to say they don't. And you probably have great reason to not, but I mean, you can't look past how revolutionary this game was when it came out originally on the Nintendo 64, and how revolutionary it continues to be. It's a magical game, and it's part of a magical franchise. You can't hate it. I realize that there are a lot of games that I do have, but I only have digitally, or I only have digitally at the moment. I have other games that I've lent out to people. So I'm just going to kind of name some of those. I have tons of other 3DS games up here, but I really want to mention the ones that I think are crucial to have in a library of games for this console. Super Mario 3D Land. It takes what they had been working on with Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2, the 3D platforming genre, revolutionizing it again, and focusing it completely on level design and tight platforming, and they did such an amazing job with it. Brought back the Tanuki Leaf from Mario 3, which was just, I mean, who isn't happy about that? Everyone likes Mario 3. Fight me. It was just a great game, and it's only $20 at this point. What reason do you have to not get it? It has like 90 something, it's got like over 100 levels, I'm pretty sure. It's a great purchase. And just another great reason to own a 3DS. And of course, I cannot talk about the 3DS without talking about the 3DS's exclusive Zelda game, Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which is a pseudo-sequel, I guess you could say, to Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo, which is another argued to be the best game of all time type of thing. That and Ocarina of Time are argued very much to be the greatest Zelda game and the greatest game of all time. But A Link Between Worlds is a sequel to that, and a sequel that does so much to change the Zelda formula in a way that isn't too uncomfortable and feels almost natural, where the dungeons aren't in a certain order, and you can pick whatever kind of way you want to play the game. It doesn't force you to go here and go there, and you don't feel like your hand is being held, but almost like you have full control of where you go and what you're doing, and I really liked that about it. And it was just a really good time. I cannot argue with it at all. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, well, I definitely didn't in this video, maybe possibly in past videos, don't think so, but Xenoblade Chronicles, another amazing game that I have talked about before, is also on the 3DS. If you have any of the newer models, if you buy the new one, the new 2DS XL, yeah, the new 2DS XL, that one, you can play it on there, and it's just a great time, and I totally suggest you try it out. Take my word for it. I've played a lot of video games, but I think that would be it in terms of games on the 3DS that I think you should play. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Objection! Oh. Right you are, Phoenix. How can I forget? The Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy, which has the first 3 games in the series, is available on the 3DS, and I think it's usually somewhere around $40 maybe. So you're paying a little over $10 each, $12 each, something like that, $13 each, I guess you could say, for each of the games. It's usually on sale for $30, so that's $10 for each of those 3 games. It's totally worth your time. I can't say not play it, because it's just so good. Try Ace Attorney. You're gonna think it's weird. It's just like, oh, you're a defense attorney. Like it's just reading and like clicking buttons and solving cases, and you're like, what's so good about this? I promise you'll be hooked. It happens to everybody. Everyone thinks, okay, but then they start playing it and they're like, I get it. So I hope this video was a little helpful for you guys who maybe are a little dry on games to play. 3DS is an amazing console. It's been out for a few years now. Definitely had a good life, and it seems like it's finally winding down. But I can't argue with getting one. It's cheap. All the games are cheap. You can have there's a huge library of games. I haven't even tapped into just a fraction of how many games there are on this system. There's so many to play. I didn't even touch like a portion of what there is, or even what I own. I just mentioned a couple that I really like. It's really hard to put into words how many amazing games there are on this system and how worth it is and worth your time to get that system is. I could not tell you how worth it is. I try to convey it the best I can. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Stern, alright? You can call me Chris, because that is my name. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be signing.